Hey everybody, it's Alex Hughes and Ricky Lee Jewell here with the North Pacific Homes Group in Victoria, and we're very excited to do this video about people relocating to Victoria.
We're going to talk about why each of us decided to move to Victoria, as well as some of the financial, emotional, and logistical aspects to think about when planning a move. I will say one of the biggest topics of conversation when it comes to moving out west, in particular Victoria or Vancouver, is the adjustment to the high cost of living.
There's definitely, depending on the market that you're coming from, there's definitely a sticker shock. Our average home price here is just shy of $1.3 million. Our average condo price is $570,000. Biggest adjustment to make here is when you look at all across Canada, BC has one of the highest ratios of income to home prices, and that's 5.4. So for every household income, 5.4 times that is going to be the average house price. In Victoria specifically, you're sitting just over 6%. Now, if you're looking across Canada and you take out some of the larger metropolitan areas, Toronto, Vancouver, Victoria, those numbers drop to just over about 2.
If you're moving to Victoria from Vancouver or Toronto, then the prices won't be as big of a shock to you. But for myself, moving here from Winnipeg, I can definitely relate to the price comparisons feeling a little daunting. I will say I didn't experience that quite as intensely when I made the move, because I did move right after finishing school. I had always dreamt of living by the ocean, so I looked up a room to rent on Craigslist with 3 other girls and moved 2 weeks later, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. But for my parents, they moved in 2020, and they had that experience of selling their detached home in Winnipeg and then purchasing a condo in Victoria for more than they sold their home for. So that was definitely a big thing for them to consider, and the main driver for them was the quality of living that they could get in Victoria compared to Winnipeg. Nothing against Winnipeg at all, but they wanted to be somewhere where the temperature was more moderate year-round. My parents go to the beach every day. My dad took ocean kayaking lessons. They go paddle boarding, and for them it was such a meaningful, worthwhile trade-off, even though the cost of their home versus their mortgage here was a significant difference. And so if you're watching this video, that might be a decision that you're trying to make right now as well. And we understand that there's a lot that goes into that. Something that we would recommend doing if you're really on the fence is getting a long-term Airbnb here, and that way you can really get a feel for the different neighborhoods that you might want to purchase in. This is something that my parents did multiple times before they ended up making the switch. They had rented 30-day Airbnbs at different times of the year and focusing on different neighborhoods. Ultimately, some health scares, their daughter moving here, and COVID were really driving factors that caused them to take that leap of faith. And they were lucky to have a very patient realtor. They actually bought their place sight unseen, and they are so happy with the decision that they made.
I've been lucky enough to help a lot of out-of-town buyers here in Victoria, and to her point, a lot of them are buying sight unseen, as it is expensive to fly out here, do a bunch of showings, take off. Like Ricky's parents, like she had mentioned, knowing the areas of course is going to be very important, right? Do you like Souk? Do you like Langford? Do you like Sydney? Do you like James Bay? Right? All of these areas, it's really beneficial to be able to sit down with us, whether that's a Zoom call, on a map, and go over what the ideas or what the areas are looking like. What are the average drive times, depending on the area that you're coming from. In Toronto, a 45-minute might not be a long trip to you, but if you're coming from a smaller town, right, that might be too long. Having a real estate advisor, boots on the ground that you can trust, he plays a huge role in your success. And it's a big responsibility that we have come to absolutely love, and we cherish, and we count our stars every day that this is our career. So I was fortunate to grow up in one of the most beautiful places in the world, in my opinion. That's North Vancouver, right? We grew up right at the base of a mountain. I was able to go snowboarding, every winter day after high school. It's about a 3-minute drive from our house. So I get asked the question a lot, why come to Victoria? Partly it was due to my sister. So she got a scholarship out here to come play basketball, and she convinced me for the 3 years ahead of me that she was to come out. I came out here, and the year that I came out, she actually transferred back to Vancouver to go play for UBC. So as soon as I got here, I absolutely fell in love with this city. Vancouver to me was a little bit too large. I felt like I was quite honestly stuck in the car for too long. I absolutely love where we live. Of course, it's a little bit more realistic, a little bit more affordable for families as the benchmark price. Yes, it's $1.3 million. Tack on a few more hundred thousands if you're looking in Vancouver. We are big outdoor enthusiasts. There's always something to do. We got oceans all around. We got tons of hiking, tons of camping, and there's such an incredible food and art scene here that there's no spare time.
Tips for people who are planning a move and own property: it's always a good idea to get your home on the market as soon as possible. I completely understand that it is very tempting to want to have a place here secured before you get your property on the market. It really helps your negotiating power if you already have that process underway and you are wanting to do a subject to the sale of your home. That's something that we're always happy to talk about as an option if you are interested in moving. As Alex mentioned, it really helps to sit down with someone and go over the different neighborhoods so that you can be sure that you're buying somewhere that really fits your lifestyle and expectations for the move. We are more than happy to sit down with you and go over the different neighborhoods. And we are going to be doing a whole series on the Capital Region districts and those neighborhoods, so you can expect to see more of that on our YouTube channel as well. Also, if you want to sign up for our monthly newsletter, we include market stats so you have an idea of what's going on in the Victoria Real Estate Board, as well as featured businesses and local events that are going on. So it's a nice way to get excited about the community that you're moving to. Thank you so much for joining us for this video, and we hope that you found it helpful and a little bit inspiring if you're thinking about making a move.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching.